In machine learning and statistics, classification is the problem of identifying to which of a set of categories, subpopulations, a new observation belongs, on the basis of a training set of data containing observations or instances whose category membership is known. An example would be assigning a given email into spam or non-spam classes, or assigning a diagnosis to a given patient as described by observed characteristics of the patient, gender, blood pressure, presence or absence of certain symptoms, etc. Classification is an example of pattern recognition. In the terminology of machine learning, classification is considered an instance of supervised learning, that is, learning where a training set of correctly identified observations is available. The corresponding unsupervised procedure is known as clustering, and involves grouping data into categories based on some measure of inherent similarity or distance. Often, the individual observations are analyzed into a set of quantifiable properties, known variously as explanatory variables or features. These properties may variously be categorical, for example A, B, A, or O, for blood type; ordinal, for example large, medium, or small; integer valued, for example the number of occurrences of a particular word in an email; or real valued, for example a measurement of blood pressure. Other classifiers work by comparing observations to previous observations by means of a similarity or distance function. An algorithm that implements classification, especially in a concrete implementation, is known as a classifier. The term classifier sometimes also refers to the mathematical function, implemented by a classification algorithm, that maps input data to a category. Terminology across fields is quite varied. In statistics, where classification is often done with logistic regression or a similar procedure, the properties of observations are termed explanatory variables or independent variables, regressors, etc., and the categories to be predicted are known as outcomes, which are considered to be possible values of the dependent variable. In machine learning, the observations are often known as instances. The explanatory variables are termed features grouped into a feature vector, and the possible categories to be predicted are classes. Other fields may use different terminology. For example, in community ecology, the term classification normally refers to cluster analysis, that is a type of unsupervised learning, rather than the supervised learning described in this article.